Hello world and welcome to the Common Sense Man's News and Talk Show weekend edition on this March 24th, 2018, Saturday. We're doing a special weekend edition just to give you all the latest news on what's happening, which is a big weekend here for March for Our Lives. We're going to get to that in a second, but moving over to Fox News, their top story is not the March of Our Lives like the other internet news sources. Theirs is their quote, "Kick him out," as a picture of Trump, Putin, and I believe it's the Chancellor of Germany. I believe, not 100% sure. Maybe it's maybe it's someone from the UK. They kind of look similar. Anyways, Trump is considering options against Russia to the same thing that the UK do after that spy incident last week. He poisoned the spy a couple weeks ago. He's maybe thinking of kicking out some of the Russian people that are here. Who knows what's going to happen with that? If you want to look into it, go ahead. But that's it. Their article on March of Our Lives is below that. It's not a main thing on their deal. But now, moving over to CNN, Marching for Their Lives is happening everywhere. It's the biggest thing going on this weekend. It's all the kids out there. Well, not just kids. I mean, Paul McCartney's taking part of it. So it is big. They're trying to, have some gun reform. And I think everybody's being misguided with all this gun stuff, saying they're going to take away guns. I don't think anyone wants to take away guns. At least I've never read anything about that except for stupid posts. But yes, there are some states that, most of these states need to comply with some type of, background check and registering the guns. It's really that simple. It's not rocket science. It's freaking simple. Okay, moving over to CNBC. Their main news thing is actually... it's about Trump. It's a picture of Trump. Even with the sell-off, Trump has presided over stock surge that's still holding on the big gain. So the stock market's still way up there, even though it has taken a little bit of a slide. Moving over to USA Today. Actually, they just changed their main one. It was the March for Our Lives. Now it's 11-year-old Naomi Wadler and her powerful March for Our Lives speech. I guess it is March for Our Lives speech. So go on USA Today to see that. The BBC. Thousands joined March for Our Lives. Again, that is the big topic of this weekend. That's why we're doing this special weekend edition. So it's all about gun control, and I think that's just, you got to read into that. Gun control, not gun banishment, not taking away guns. It's gun control, which if you've listened to some of my other episodes, I went over how many states don't even require registration or background check. It's ridiculous, really. I mean, how could you just be able to go in and buy a gun without a driver's license or anything? That's just not cool, in my opinion. I think most people should agree with that. I mean, come on. All right, moving over to ESPN. Really, the biggest thing that's happening this weekend now is March Madness, the Elite Eight. So tonight's games are going to be Michigan Wolverines versus Florida State. That's at 8:49 Eastern, and then after that will be before that will be Loyola Chicago Ramblers at Kansas State Wildcats, and then tomorrow will be Villanova Wildcats at Texas Tech Red Raiders, and ending that will be the Kansas Jayhawks at versus the Blue Devils on Sunday. Moving over to entertainment news, their top news is March for Our Lives. Students lead rally to say never again, live stream, so go ahead and go on there. Shows picture of Paul McCartney, We Can End Gun Violence. He's wearing a shirt. Looking like he's got a mullet going on, pretty big mullet, actually. But he pulls it off. Then if you want to, just to see a great picture, Beyonce and Jay-Z, they're still in Jamaica. We've been kind of focusing on that this week. So fly for Jamaican photo shoot. And there's a picture of them with sitting on the beach with Beyonce sitting on his lap and showing some rather very nice cleavage. So it might be worth it just to go on there just to look at the picture. She is very, very, very beautiful. Moving over to Travel Leisure, the biggest thing there, they're talking about the first nonstop flight from Europe to Australia. So if you live in Europe and you want to go nonstop to Australia, it's going to be a 17-hour flight on Qantas with the new Dreamliner, Boeing Dreamliner. So I believe that's going to start in several months. So it'll be about a 17-hour flight. And that's going to be it for that. We may do a quick little thing from Facebook. If I could pull up my little thing real quick, not to take up too much time. I should have been prepared for this, but I wasn't, obviously. So let's just do a quick one here. I'm going to give you a quick little quote from Facebook. And here it is. Stop being afraid of what could go wrong and start being excited about what could go right. That's awesome. If you think about it, you always think about the negative. Think about what could happen, the positive stuff. That's awesome. I love that one. We're going to end it with that. Please subscribe to my channel, the Common Sense Man's News and Talk Show. And let's get this thing going. Let's talk about some of these things. Gun control, politics, anything, sports, anything you want to talk about that you feel we need to talk about in a common sense way. Let's do it. Have a great rest of your weekend. We will see you on Monday morning.